With all writing, but especially with academic writing, students must present their understanding of a skill or concept in a logical sequence. Being organized and structured in writing does not mean that a writer lacks style, voice, or creativity. In truth, being an organized thinker frees up a writer to create and express his or her style, voice, and creativity with meaning and purpose. We start teaching the essential components of JSWP through a formula or structure, which is a place to start for students who need it. Let me explain Jane's theory on the subject. When musicians first pick up their instruments, they learn the scales. Later, they play Mozart or create their own compositions. Athletes do not wake up one day and play a game. They drill and practice and scrimmage. Golfers practice the fundamentals of a swing. My friend Anne is a gifted chef, a natural. Anne will look inside the refrigerator and throw this together and that together, and voila, a gourmet dish evolves. Me, not so much. The first time I try a new dish, I feel better if I have a recipe and will follow it step by step, making sure that I use exact measurements. Once I taste it, then I decide to add a spice, replace a vegetable, or change an ingredient. I make it fit my taste, fit my style. It's the same with JSWP. It's kind of the Martha Stewart for writers. We all have unique talents. Of course, there are people who have extraordinary talents at a very young age. Scientists Marie Curie and Albert Einstein, mathematician Katherine Johnson, baseball superstar Jackie Robinson, and Mozart, the famous composer. But how many of these youngsters are in your class? I can name 2 children in my 16 years who were extraordinary in a certain field of study. My first one was a 9th grader named Adam, who had written his first novel about the Russian Revolution at age 14. Amazing kid. Got a scholarship to a university at age 15. Every night I included in my prayers, "Please, dear God, don't let me mess up this kid." The second student, an 11th grader, David, was always getting into trouble with his teachers, even with me. At the beginning of the school year, I wondered, why is he such a behavioral problem? Then I saw that he had a perfect SAT score. I learned that the problem was my not finding a different approach to this young man. When I changed, he changed. But children like Adam and David are few and far between, and we must recognize them when they are with us and adapt and differentiate. But all of our students have unique gifts. One of those gifts just might not be writing. We must adapt to that reality as well. You know, I love to read and write, and many of my colleagues and friends became English teachers because of their love of reading and writing. But we are a strange group, and most of our students and colleagues aren't as excited about writing as we are. So it's difficult sometimes to motivate students to write when we're like, "What's the big deal? Just write." And here's something else. In some of my research about why students drop out, I've learned that math seems to be a large contributor to students dropping out. But I think writing is another culprit. According to a 2017 National Education Association article on dropout rates by Cindy Long, Long indicates that the through line in many of the stories from dropout students was some kind of academic challenge that undermined their faith in themselves as learners, that then led to helplessness and hopelessness about their ability to be a student. Statistically, the dropout rate seems to take a jump in 10th, 11th, and 12th grades. That's when teachers assign the most academic writing. So the Jane Schaffer Academic Writing Program first provides a foundation of academic writing in grades K through 12. We want to remove the mystery of academic writing for students who think that only special kind of people, like an English teacher or a future English teacher, can write. Then the program moves beyond the formula. Jane always intended for teachers to move students beyond the formula. Although I will say that we are also proud of our special education students and our academically challenged students who have earned college degrees sticking to the formula. That's why the Jane Schaffer Academic Writing Program is used at all grade levels and with all types of learners. From special education students and English learners to gifted and talented students and advanced placement scholars, we teach students how to organize their thoughts and develop their own style and voice. But first, we want them to experience success and gain confidence. That happens with a good foundation.